The world shakes, the ground beneath us trembles, and the very foundations of our lives are disrupted. It's a stark reminder of how fragile our existence is, how everything we take for granted can be upended in an instant. Disasters get worse and worse. Hurricanes grow fiercer, wildfires rage uncontrollably, and floods sweep away entire communities. These events are not just random occurrences, they are escalating in intensity and frequency, making us question the stability of our world. Suffering seems to have no end. Families are torn apart, homes are lost, and lives are shattered. The pain and anguish are palpable, and it feels as though the world is crying out in agony. From all this trouble, a question comes up: are these things a warning? A small look at what Allah promised? Are these calamities a glimpse into the consequences of our actions, a reflection of our collective neglect and disobedience? As Muslims, we believe they are. We see these events as signs, as reminders from Allah to turn back to Him, to seek His guidance and mercy. They remind us that we don't live forever. Our time on this earth is limited and every moment is precious. The ticking clock is a metaphor for our fleeting existence, urging us to make the most of the time we have. They're a call to wake up from being careless, to stop living in a state of heedlessness, and to become more aware of our actions and their consequences. These aren't just natural disasters or single events. They are interconnected, part of a larger pattern that speaks to the state of our world and our relationship with the Creator. They are signs from God, part of our lives. They are woven into the fabric of our existence, reminding us of the divine presence in every aspect of our lives. The Quran tells us about people in the past, swallowed by the earth or swept away by floods. These stories are not just ancient history, they are timeless lessons that resonate with us today. They were too proud and disobeyed God, and that's why they were destroyed. Their arrogance and defiance led to their downfall, serving as a cautionary tale for all of humanity. These stories aren't just history, they're lessons for everyone. They are meant to guide us, to help us avoid the same mistakes and to lead us towards a path of righteousness. They remind us that Allah's warnings are serious and true. They are not to be taken lightly, for they carry the weight of divine truth and justice. He is Al-Haq, the truth, and His words are the only real truth. In a world filled with uncertainty and deception, His words stand as the ultimate source of guidance and clarity. But even with these warnings, there is still hope. Hope for redemption, for forgiveness, and for a better future. The dawn of a new day symbolizes the endless possibilities that lie ahead if we choose to heed His warnings. Allah, in His great kindness, keeps sending us guidance. Through His prophets, His scriptures, and the signs in the world around us, He continually reaches out to us, offering us a chance to return to Him. He sends prophets and messengers, messages and signs. These divine emissaries are a testament to His mercy and His desire for us to find the right path. He puts in our hearts a wish for Him, a need for something more than the fun things in this world. This longing is a spiritual compass, guiding us towards a deeper connection with our Creator. The question is, will we listen? Will we open our hearts and minds to His guidance? Or will we continue to ignore the signs and warnings? Will we see His signs and go back to Him before it's too late? We get to choose. The path we take is in our hands, but the consequences of our choices are in His. But what happens because of our choices is up to Him. He is the ultimate judge, and His justice is perfect and absolute. Let's not be like the people who came before us, not noticing the signs until it was too late. Let's learn from their mistakes and strive to be better, to be more mindful and aware. Let's try to be the people who remember, who say sorry, and who go back to Him with honest hearts. In doing so, we can find peace, purpose, and the promise of a better tomorrow. Who are the non-believers, the ones who get Allah's final warning? This question has puzzled many, and the answer isn't straightforward. In Islam, the concept of non-belief is nuanced and multifaceted. It recognizes that disbelief can manifest in various forms and circumstances. Some people might never have had the opportunity to learn about Islam. They might live in regions where the message of Islam hasn't reached, or they might belong to communities where other beliefs dominate. For these individuals, Allah's judgment is tempered with His infinite mercy. Then there are those who have encountered a distorted version of Islam. Their understanding is clouded by misconceptions and falsehoods, often perpetuated by those with ulterior motives. For them, the path to true understanding is fraught with challenges. Allah, in His boundless compassion, takes into account the struggles and intentions of these individuals. He judges them not just by their actions but by their efforts to seek the truth and their genuine intentions. The essence of Allah's mercy is evident in how He deals with those who are misinformed or unaware. His judgment is not harsh but understanding, recognizing the limitations and challenges faced by these individuals. However, there are also those who, despite having access to the true teachings of Islam, choose to reject it. Their disbelief is not due to ignorance or misinformation but stems from a conscious decision to turn away. These individuals might be influenced by pride, arrogance, or a refusal to submit to a higher authority. They see the signs, hear the message, but their hearts remain closed. For them, Allah's warnings are clear and unequivocal. They are reminded of the consequences of their choices, yet they persist in their disbelief. As Muslims, it is our duty to convey the true message of Islam with clarity and compassion. We must strive to dispel misconceptions and provide a genuine understanding of our faith. Our actions, words, and demeanor should reflect the beauty and truth of Islam. By doing so, we can help guide those who are lost or misinformed. But we must also recognize that guidance ultimately comes from Allah. We can only be the means through which the message is delivered. The acceptance of that message lies in the hands of the individual and the will of Allah. There will always be those who, despite knowing the truth, choose to turn away. Their reasons might be complex, rooted in personal experiences, societal pressures, or internal conflicts. These individuals are the ones who receive Allah's final warning. They are reminded of the consequences of their choices, yet they persist in their disbelief. The gravity of their decision is immense and the repercussions are profound. But even in their defiance, Allah's mercy remains vast and encompassing. We must remember that our role is not to judge but to guide. We cannot determine the fate of others, only Allah has that authority. Our responsibility is to share the message of Islam with sincerity and wisdom, hoping that hearts will open and minds will understand. Even when faced with rejection, we should never lose hope. Allah's guidance can reach anyone, anywhere, at any time. Our task is to be steadfast in our efforts, to continue inviting others to the path of truth with patience and compassion. We need to share the message, to invite people to the right path with kindness and wisdom, and even though we might be sad about their choices, we should never stop hoping in Allah's mercy, because He guides whoever He wants. In the end, it is Allah's will that prevails. Our duty is to be the best representatives of our faith, to embody its principles and to trust in Allah's infinite wisdom and mercy. Many Muslims worry about family members who don't believe. It's a painful feeling from love because they want their family to be saved. But only Allah can guide people. We need to be like lights, showing His mercy and kindness in what we say and do. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had this problem too. His uncle, Abu Talib, didn't become a Muslim, even though the Prophet tried very hard. But the Prophet never stopped hoping, and was always kind to him. This teaches us something important. We can't make anyone believe, but we can make it easier for faith to grow. We can show how beautiful Islam is by being good people and showing love. We can make Islam a safe place for people looking for truth and comfort. And don't forget the power of dua, of praying to Allah. He hears our hearts, even when we don't say anything out loud. Pray for your loved ones, that Allah may guide them, make their hearts soft, and help them see the beauty of His message. Remember, with Allah, anything is possible. People often ask, what about the good things non-Muslims do? Will they get a reward? Islam teaches that Allah is Al-Adl, the just. He is fair to everyone. People who try to do good, even if they have different beliefs, will get a reward in this life. But the biggest reward, the happiness of paradise forever, depends on believing in Allah and following Him. This doesn't mean good deeds are pointless. They show the goodness inside everyone. They show Allah's mercy, which is for everyone. But remember, good deeds aren't enough on their own. Imagine someone building a huge, beautiful palace with everything you could want, but they forget to build a door. All that work is wasted. Good deeds without faith are like that palace. They might make you comfortable in this life, but they can't get you into paradise. For that, we need the key of faith, the door of Islam, so we can be with our Creator forever. It's 2025. The world watches Lebanon, once a place of different people and strength, caught in a terrible war. The skies are filled with the sounds of drones and fighter jets, and the streets echo with the cries of the innocent. The once vibrant cities are now shadows of their former selves, with buildings reduced to rubble and lives shattered beyond repair. The Israeli army sends scary warning texts before attacking. These messages, meant to save lives, often spread fear and panic among the civilians. Families huddle together, praying for safety, as the ominous warnings light up their screens. Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, is killed, shocking everyone. His death marks a significant turning point in the conflict, leaving a power vacuum and further destabilizing the region. The streets are filled with mourning supporters and the air is thick with uncertainty about what comes next. These things aren't just single events. They are part of a larger, more complex tapestry of suffering and strife that has plagued Lebanon for years. Each incident is a thread in the fabric of a nation struggling to find peace amidst chaos. They remind us of Allah's warnings that people ignored. The signs were there, but in the hustle and bustle of daily life, many chose to turn a blind eye. Now, as the consequences unfold, the gravity of those ignored warnings becomes painfully clear. For years, the people of Lebanon have suffered. Problems with the government, money problems, and the threat of war have made things hard. Corruption and mismanagement have eroded trust in leadership, and economic hardships have pushed many to the brink of despair. Protests have become a common sight as citizens demand change and accountability, and the threat of war have made things hard. The constant presence of soldiers and the sight of damaged buildings serve as daily reminders of the fragility of peace. The scars of past conflicts are visible everywhere, and the fear of new ones looms large. But many people stopped caring, their hearts made hard by the struggle to live. The daily grind of survival has numbed many to the suffering around them. Indifference has taken root as people focus on their own immediate needs, often at the expense of the greater good. They forgot what happened in the past, the lessons learned from previous conflicts. The memories of past wars and the wisdom they imparted have faded, replaced by a sense of resignation and hopelessness. What happens when you turn away from Allah? The spiritual neglect has left a void, one that material pursuits and worldly distractions cannot fill. The consequences of turning away from divine guidance are now manifesting in the most tragic ways. What's happening in Lebanon is a wake-up call. It's a stark reminder of the fragility of human life and the importance of staying true to one's faith. The devastation serves as a powerful message that cannot be ignored. It reminds us that life is short and we need Allah's protection. In times of crisis, many turn back to their faith, seeking solace and guidance. The mosques fill with prayers, and families come together, finding strength in their shared beliefs. It shows that the Quran is true. Bad things have shown up on the land and sea because of what people have done. The words of the Quran resonate deeply, offering a timeless truth that transcends the immediate crisis. The destruction is a testament to the consequences of human actions. He lets them feel some of what they've done, so maybe they'll come back to what's right. The suffering is a call to reflection, a chance to reassess and realign with what is just and righteous. It's an opportunity for collective introspection and a return to moral and spiritual values. Let's not wait for something bad to happen before we turn back to Allah. Let's be proactive in our faith, seeking guidance and protection before calamity strikes. The power of prayer and community can bring about profound change. Let's learn from other people's suffering and try to bring peace and healing to a world filled with fighting and sadness. By extending compassion and aid, we can help rebuild not just structures, but lives and spirits. Together we can work towards a future where peace prevails over conflict, and love triumphs over hatred.